Hey guys, Matt from Damond Motorsports here, and today we're at Gridlife Midwest Fest.
Hey guys, it's Austin with Wunderladen Racing. We're here at Gingerman Raceway in South Haven, Michigan for Gridlife 2026. And here I've got my new toolbox. Just kidding, obviously, we're here again with Will Evans. He's got his Type R that he's running in Street Mod. It's a super competitive class this weekend. He's been doing well so far. We've been fighting a lot of issues, but we're working through it, and he's out there finding time. Will's suiting up for his next session for the day, which is actually the last one. So let's go check it out and see how he does. Not good.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, his reference line for his bypass valve was off. I don't know if it accidentally, like if it was on its last breath and I yanked it off the rest of the way, or if it was just already off.
Yeah.
But I'll pull the valve anyway just so we can take a look at it, just to be sure. Woohoo, baby! Yeah, she's definitely torn.
This is still torn. Ooh, yeah.
This is the worst one yet.
It's melted in the center. Ooh.
This is the bypass valve. So when you shift, it needs to release boost pressure between the outlet of the turbo and the inlet of the engine. So this opens to keep that pressure from damaging anything because the pressure has to go somewhere. When this happens, it can't open properly. So basically you end up damaging your turbo if it doesn't open. This is the hands down the worst one by...
Yeah. All of his other ones just a little tear on the diaphragm.
Yeah. I gave him 3 backups for this. He's already broken 2 of these this year, so yeah.
And is it just power, in boost related?
Yeah, it's a combination of boost pressure and heat.
Okay.
Track cars get really hot, ambient conditions. I mean, it's already, I think, 75 out right now, which isn't crazy hot, but you get hot air, you get hot engine temperatures, and then you get a lot of pressure, and I mean, that rubber diaphragm's not very thick. So factory bypass valve is broke for now the 3rd time. And then we are also bleeding his brakes because on the last session, his brake pedal got way lower than it should.
So what makes the pedal get squishy? Isn't it water in the system, or it's different?
It's air. So what happens is when brake fluid boils, there's entrained air that then separates fully from the fluid, and then air is obviously compressible, so you have to push the pedal more to get all that air compressed and get the brakes to activate properly. Boiling brake fluid is bad.
Remember, kids, always start your threading by hand first.
Or else what?
Before you clap.
Yeah, it's all fixed. So old bypass valve came off. It's all melted and torn, and got another replacement factory one on. We've got a handful of these as backups just because we've gone through a few of these already this season, and there isn't an upgrade. We're waiting on GFP to get us an upgrade, so hopefully that's coming soon. But yeah, car's all good to go. Just set his tire pressures, put fuel back in it. It's all mechanically sound now. We got the brakes all bled, and he's gonna go back out. He's got to find about 2 seconds to get into the top 5, which will qualify him for the podium sprint tomorrow. And if he does that, that'll be awesome. I mean, that's just to get in top 5 in Street Mod, it's a very competitive class. So top 5 is a huge achievement. So that's what we're shooting for.
Goddamn, how you do it like that?
So these are the Rush Series car. This is a spec series. All the cars are basically the same. You can make some minor changes like suspension setup and whatnot, but it really comes down to the driver as far as these go. It's a very nice entry-level type of racing as far as like a spec series. They're pretty affordable, nothing crazy, but pretty cool watching around and go around track. They're fun. It's like a little bit bigger than a go-kart. So what's nice about this event, especially this Gridlife event, is it's a whole bunch of different aspects of racing. You've got drifting, you have time attack, you've got wheel-to-wheel series, not just one, but there's two, there's multiple, and there's multiple classes. There's also car shows going on. This is the festival, so we've got things going on, such as music and everything. Pretty crazy event. This is probably the biggest I've ever seen Midwest this year. I want to say there's like 200 something drivers, so it's pretty crazy this year. This is, I believe it's an MG, which you don't really see too many of those over here in the States. It looks like it's a spec car that is converted to GLGT, which is a racing series here at Gridlife. So pretty sweet. You don't really see too many of these, at least in the US. Yeah, that's an ice cream truck. They sell ice cream here. Somebody brought their shit box to Gridlife, literally. So here at Gridlife, we have the Time Attack Track Battle series that's going out. You're gonna see a lot of cars here, different classes, but they're all in this group relatively around the same time. They're gonna stagger people, faster cars at the front, slower cars towards the rear, and they'll kind of let everybody go out so that way you're not getting as much traffic and you can set that fast lap time. So this is what we've run our Focus ST in. And they're about to start letting these guys go out, so we're excited for that. We have one of our sponsor drivers, Will. He's in a Civic Type R down there. He's been plagued with some issues this weekend, but this is his chance to actually go out there and set a fast lap. We're hoping he can kind of get in sub 140s, ideally a 138. We know the car's capable of that. We know the driver's capable of that. It's just, can it stay together to do that? So we're hopeful, fingers crossed. If that happens, that moves him into potentially the top 5, and he can go on and run tomorrow as well, potentially for a trophy. So that's what we're hoping for, and we'll see if that happens this session. So the track we're at here for Gridlife Midwest Fest is Gingerman Raceway. This is in South Haven, Michigan. It's a fantastic track. There's 11 turns in total. It's about 2 miles long. I've been coming here since I was 17, running cars around here. I probably have more track days here than even our home track, Audubon Country Club. So it's a fantastic track. There's tons of runoff space, so it's fantastic for beginners. You can, kind of be a little advantageous and send the car and not have to worry too much. I've spun out quite a few times here, going a little crazy, but car's always been fine. I've always been fine. It's a fantastic track. It's very different depending on your car setup. Also drivetrain type. I've done rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and front-wheel drive around here, and it feels like a different track every drivetrain layout. So really fun track. If it's your first time ever coming out, it's a fantastic beginner's track. The staff here is fantastic. It's just a great track overall. So one of our favorite tracks in the Midwest, and we're excited that this is kind of where the home of Gridlife first started. So Will just finished his session. We think he said around like a 141 time, which is a bit off pace. So we're gonna see if the car's having issues or, why he's not going as fast as he should be. But yeah, this is Gridlife Time Attack Track Battle. There's multiple different series. You've got Sunday Cup, which is gonna be stuff like Honda Fits, Mazda 2s, Ford Fiestas, like little cars making around 100 horsepower. Can't modify those that much. You got Club TR, which is gonna be small displacement turbo engines and smaller displacement naturally aspirated engines. That's a very, very competitive class. You've got all the other classes. You got Street Mod, which is what our sponsor car Will is in. You've got Unlimited, which kind of sky's the limit. You can modify the car within the rule set. There's not many rules. There's a few other classes too that I'm kind of forgetting, but yeah, it's a very competitive event. You've got guys running all different sorts of cars, so it's really cool seeing the diversity of vehicles out here. We're really excited to work with drivers here. We also work with drivers in GLTC, which is the wheel-to-wheel series. So we've got our buddy Brian Tyson. He's not here at this event, but he runs a Ford Focus in that series, which is pretty cool. You don't see too many of those on track doing wheel-to-wheel stuff. So pretty cool events that they have here, pretty cool time attack series. And yeah, we're excited to be here.
Session went good. Our bypass valve blew again after first heat. The car felt like did not have enough understeer. Every corner I went into, I could not get deeper in. And then the end started flicking out. When we were at CMP, we made a lot of changes to give me more oversteer. But I think we need to shift it a little bit more forward because now it's just too much. And this bypass valve. GFB, please save us. We are struggling. This thing blew immediately, quite literally first lap out after the out lap. As soon as I got on it, bypass valve blew. And you could hear it just pop and it's just gone. So yeah, fun times. Oversteer, I don't know if it's because the track is greasy.
Track being greasy definitely hurts. Did you find any time?
No. Okay. That bypass valve blew immediately. It was like out lap right when I got on. Went 1-2. I could hear it go, and then it started R34ing the after that. And at that point, I was like, fuck it, I don't care. Right here, yeah, getting that little transition bit, I could not turn. It was not holding grip turning in. It was quite literally just slid this way.
From like 7 to 8?
Not 7 to 8. This section.
Oh,
I know it's not saying opportunity, but like that's the easiest way I can describe that turn in, where it would like I'm turning into the apex that I want, but the car just went like this.
I mean, that sounds almost more like a neutral slide than anything. Like, does the rear feel like it's stepping out? Like you have to give it steering correction to get the rear back in line?
No.
Okay.
No. It's just it does not. The car does not want to hold that entry turn in tight. It's like I just kind of scoot off line and then keep going. Car power wise felt fine. I played around with the auto blip to save my knee, so that was also felt a lot better. It's just that front end grip was just not there at that point. And also at a weird bit, one of the inflatables from the festival hill flew over the it was at 4. It just flew. It was just flying off in the distance, and it kind of freaked me out for a second because it was just there. Nobody threw a flag, and I was like, "Oh!"
It got really windy as soon as you got out there.
Yeah. It was kind of trippy. In that
He's gonna make all these adjustments. There's gonna be no wind, and the car's gonna feel way off.
Yeah. So, but besides that, brakes were fine. Just bypass valve. I think we should just swap it tonight, going into the first session tomorrow, because it feels like it's gonna just break again. So there's really no point.
Alright guys, so this is final day of Gridlife Midwest Fest, or currently Mid-Wet Fest. Got a lot of rain, a little bit overnight, and then this morning it just started kind of downpouring a bit, which, you know, for guys who are wanting some fast lap time, it's not ideal, but it still makes for a good show, makes for some fun, getting a little sideways and whatnot. But yeah, final day here. Things didn't go as well as we hoped for Will's car, but you know, we'll keep progressing with it, keep going after it, and yeah, get him some faster times.
Sunday, Will went out and he did his morning session today. It unfortunately was a wet session, so not going to be setting any faster times like that, but he did go out, he had a good time. The in-car from it is pretty cool. He's a good driver, so overall, I think it was a pretty good weekend where, you know, Will is in process of figuring out street mod. It's a new class for him this year. It's a very competitive class. Every event that he's been to so far this season, he's seen good improvements. Things are moving in the right direction. All the parts that we've been testing on his car have been holding up very well, so this is about as abusive as it can get for testing parts, which we're very happy to see. That's all panning out very well so far. We won't be going out to any more events this year, unfortunately, just because things have been very busy for us, but if you are interested in following Will, he'll be at Watkins Glen in New York next month, as well as Lime Rock the month after. So he's got a lot more time attack coming up this season with this car, so follow him, give us a follow if you're not already, and we'll check you guys next time.